na mtu yeyote ambaye atapata chakula, hakutakuwa na mtu yeyote ambaye atasafiri, hakutakuwa na mtu yeyote ambaye atapata dawa ya hospitali na nini, kwa ajili kila kitu ambacho kinafanyika katika nchi hii kinategemea mambo ya mafuta.
It is very insensitive. It is very inconsiderate for the government that we elected that their preoccupation every day is to add the cost of living to the people of Kenya. And I want to remind the president, tafadhali, angalia nyuma, uangalie Wakenya wale walikuweka kwenye huko. Wakenya wanaumia. We can no longer accept and we can no longer entertain the thought of increasing the prices of fuel products in the country of Kenya. I want to tell this government, we are giving them an ultimatum. Within 1 day, leo hii ikiisha, lazima waite mkutano wa dharura na waondoe hiyo maneno ya kuongeza kodi katika mafuta. Watu wetu ya bodaboda wanaumia. Watu wetu wa matatu wanaumia. And it is very, very uncouth for the government to purport to increase the prices of fuel products.
The ANC party is outraged by the recent announcement by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority increasing the maximum wholesale and retail petroleum prices in Kenya by nearly 15%. The increases in the fuel pump prices will ultimately lead to an increase in the cost of production and transportation for ordinary Kenyans and businesses. Kenyans in our villages and towns are in great distress. Many families do not know where the next meal will come from, and even when they get a meal, it is not enough to satisfy the household needs. Clearly, with increased prices of paraffin and other fuel, the situation is likely to get worse as prices of food soar. What the Ministry of Energy has always done is to pass the increased costs to the mwananchi and business community to their detriment, while guaranteeing higher profit margins for oil marketers. Changes in the computation of the applicable taxation regime have resulted in higher pump prices. In fact, taxes now comprise roughly 60% of the pump price for petrol, diesel, and kerosene. It is totally unacceptable. Our proposal: the Ministry of Energy has failed Kenyans and must take responsibility for this unpleasant situation. They should take cognizance of the fact that it is the ordinary citizen who bears the brunt of high petroleum prices. It is painful to imagine the plight of the widowed mother in Kibera, Kamkunji, or Mathare, who currently earns less than Kenya shillings 200 for washing clothes, or the small businessman in Changamwe, Nyeri, or Kisumu, whose soap-making business is being strangled because of the high electricity costs. The ministry, as a matter of urgency, must do the following. 1. Revise the formula used in pricing fuel. 2. Review the tax regime on fuel products. A tax equivalent to 100% of pump price is unsustainable, punitive, and inflationary to the Kenyan people. The tax regime should also provide incentives for investments in clean and renewable energy. 3. Reform the electricity cost structure to include more transparency in the determination of costs and pricing and improve overall efficiency. On an encouraging note, the government should accelerate the review of the power purchase agreements that have been heavily skewed against Kenyans. 4, the ministry must review and reform our energy policy in consultation with stakeholders across the board so that the nation can leverage on their creativity and innovation. In conclusion, the above recommendations would enable our country to remove price distortions in the economy, enhance our competitiveness, and foster an increase in investments in the energy sector and the economy as a whole. The ministry should treat this matter with the urgency it deserves. In short, what I'm trying to emphasize here is that for as long as we have these distortions in the energy sector, we are not going to achieve the competitiveness that we ought to achieve in making us the premier economy in this region.